Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a little digital drawing for you guys. I was going to be posting another video, which was going to be my second video for my vampire series, but I decided to leave her a little bit for later because I don't want it to be only like the series. I want other things as well. So I decided to put this little image in. It is a portrait drawing that I did of you could literally say it. I am a bit inspired by something I've been working on this for like years, and now that I've finally learned how to draw a male face, I'm kind of getting into the whole getting my characters in place. So maybe one day when I finally got the proportions I want and the things I intend on doing, I will be literally making my own comic. So I'm actually pretty excited about that, and you could literally say this is like a rough draft of one of my characters, and he's a bit complicated because I can't really say a lot because or else it's going to give like major spoilers to what I'm working on. Like, what I can say is that he does have a bit of issue with one of my characters. Actually, he has issues with two of my characters. One main character and the other like a secondary character. But the secondary character, I developed the secondary character as like the guy was useless. And afterwards, when I was going through like a rough draft and I wanted to change a lot of things about my story, I just got this amazing idea, and I kind of gave him a bit more life, so he became a bit more threatening after a point. But in the beginning, I simply think he's so boring, and he's just really boring. And the name of my character, this one that I'm like, it's a rough sketch, it's not 100% what he is, but he does have a bit of the features. I'm probably gonna change a lot of things from him, but his name is Kevin, and he works for an agency. He's like he's not a bodyguard, he's like an agent, and he has a partner, which is Elizabeth. She is also one of my main characters. I have four main characters, and they all have this weird past. And my story does have a bit of supernatural take in it, because it has to have a little bit of a supernatural take in it, girls. It wouldn't be me. And the weird thing is that I tried writing a vampire like novelish thing once, and it didn't really work out that well. And when I started writing this one, I was like, okay, either I'm going to write it as a book or I'm going to write it as a comic. And I figured out that it works both ways, but I'm going to try it as a comic because I think it would do better if it was a comic, because I can literally fix the things that I don't want, and most of the things that I want to be more visual for you guys. And if it's not like the script, like if I don't describe it perfectly, I think you would pick it up faster in a comic form. So I'm actually working on that. I actually started drafting the first, you could say like the first episode maybe, and I have implemented a couple of things to it. So I'm actually pretty excited about this because I've been working on this for years, and it's weird because I just literally had this weird dream, and I was like, oh my god, I can actually write the story about this. This could be so cool. And I actually did end up writing a story about it, but I thought that, like, most of the things that I wrote down, I was literally like, maybe this could be like really cool if it was like a comic, but I still kept on writing it, and then I kind of got like an artist block. Like, it was horrible. But I did get an artist block at one point, and after I got like read it like 2 times, and I haven't written a single word. And sometimes I do go back and I read everything I wrote, but I still don't have like that momentum to literally finish it as a novel, because my brain is just like, do it as a comic. So my gut intuition is just telling me to do it as a comic. So that's technically what I want to do. I want to work on it as a comic. But mostly what Kevin is, he is an agent and he works with Elizabeth. And he's married to Susan. And the story literally starts out with Susan. Susan is one of the main protagonists, I should say, for the first part of my story. And he has major issues because nobody really knows what's actually going on where they are at the moment, because they're stuck. And they're also being fooled by a whole bunch of people and the bad guy, which would be Ivan. So when I actually start drawing one of my main characters, which is Kroby. Little fun fact about Kroby, I think I'm just gonna leave that to when I actually start getting into him. So you guys are gonna see a lot of me focusing a little bit on my comic, which is going to take forever. I know myself, I will eventually get it out, but I want to do everything like perfect. I actually have Susan and Elizabeth drawn already. I just have to get a couple of things done, and I'm starting to draw the boys. And I realized when I was doing this that I colored Kevin's eyes wrong. Kevin actually has blue eyes, and I just went with it. I can fix it later, because Kroby, which is the other main character, he's the one that has green eyes. So it's gonna be like a wild ride. And mostly what I decided to make Kevin into an actual main character, it was mostly because he had a really long involvement with Susan and Elizabeth, because in the beginning the story was mostly just going to be about Susan and Elizabeth. But afterwards, when I actually got into a little moment of simply just reflection and where I wanted my story to go, I saw that it would be better to implement another 2 main characters, because their background stories, after a long process of just sitting down and literally seeing their wants, like their personality, where they grew up and everything, it actually ended up like connecting to one another. So I simply decided that it would be best if they were still implemented as a main character. And as so far it did work out, because it actually ended up doing exactly what I wanted. Especially Kevin, because there's a lot of pointers that I could possibly tell you guys now that you guys are going to despise Kevin for the most part, and I want that. And you guys will understand why later on, but well, not later on, when it's done and everything is like pretty. I do want him to be despised for obvious reasons, because it's part of the story. But it's not that like he's actually a bad person. It's just the circumstances that they find themselves in right now. It's not that good, and it literally does get crazy at a lot of points. And the reason I'm going to take a while to do this because I'm gonna have to learn how to draw monsters. Well, the monsters that I have created, technically I already know what they look like. I just have to like sit down and actually start drawing them to see what I want to change and if I'm actually going to keep into the colors, because in the beginning I wanted the entire comic to be monochromatic due to a lot of, it was just like a lot of things that involved where there was stuck in. But at the end of it all, I was just, no, I'm not gonna make it monochromatic. I might just make like their clothes match the scenario and like their skin tones pop out because like, you know, they're human, so they still have these, each of them still do have like their individual powers, and that literally made me dive even deeper into everything that I wanted to do. And I do know this is going to be like a really long comic, like when I finally get into every single detail, because I literally have like an entire book written out already from this, so it's definitely going to be huge. And I've already started doing like the prologue, and I've already like in written form my prologue is like 2 pages, and I know that when I start drawing this it's going to be more than 2 pages, so I'm probably not even going to write prologue. I'm just going to skip in and add like chapter 1 because it's huge. And when I originally started writing this, it was going to be a book series. I already actually have like the other parts, so that's why I say it's going to be really big. And like when I actually stopped writing, I was at the last part of my book because I broke it down into 3 parts, and each part has its chapters. So I'm literally going to take this and turn it into my comic because I know it would work way better in a comic form. And like if it goes well, I know that I will be doing even more about this and it's going to be awesome. And maybe even one day I'll actually just public what I literally decided to write out as an actual physical book and not just like the comic, because I do intend on putting it online for you guys to read. Obviously I'm gonna find ways to monetize because I'm going to be doing this by myself, 100% by myself, so lots of motivation for this. I need lots of motivation for this. But yeah, I didn't really talk about the process because that's normally what I do most of the videos. I wanted to give you guys a little something different. And yeah, this is Kevin. He's an agent, secret agent. God, all that song Secret Agent Band just came into my head right now. Thank you, Austin Power. And he is married to Susan. He's actually a very nice person for most part, but unfortunately the circumstances that he is in, he kind of became a douche, and that kind of gets me a little bit sad, but it's part of life and it's part of my story. And when I finally get to releasing it, I hope you guys understand why I'm saying this now. But yeah, this is technically one of my characters. I'll probably end up fixing his eyes later on if I'm probably gonna do like another rough drawing of him, just getting it out to see how I actually want to change some things. But yeah, he's in his 30s, he's dirty blonde. He's supposed to have blue eyes, but yeah. And he has a huge fallout with Kroby for obvious reasons, who is engaged to Elizabeth. And he's done very naughty things. Extremely naughty things. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I just felt like talking a little bit about something I am really working on. I normally pause the video, like my recording, a lot when I'm doing this, so I'm actually very excited to be talking about this because I regularly paused. So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, this is technically it for me. I will be leaving you with the time remaining of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed me ranting or talking or just blabbing about my character a little and why I decided to show this to you guys, and I hope that you guys would one day be able to see just more of my characters. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much. I will be back. My voice decided to weird out a little second, but I will be back next week for more videos. And I hope you guys enjoyed this because I really enjoyed showing you guys my character. And I hope to see you guys next week for more videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys!